Fireworks.
And the fireworks are certainly in stores. This is, without doubt, the game of the year for the football season, the NFL season of 1983. Score at the half, Washington 14, the Dallas Cowboys 10. About to go with half number 2 as Washington leads Dallas 14-10. Beginning the second half, Jeff Hayes will kick off for the Redskins. Fellows and Newsom back deep for Dallas. Fellows is the man they'd like to have handle it. Like he will. At his own 4. Trying to get behind the wedge. They had a left return set up, and Fellows trying to get around the corner. Now does. Fellows back out to the 28. Pete Cronin again, the man who made the tackle. Look at the halftime stats. These are 2 of the leading teams in turnovers, yet there were none.
That was a big thing, but the other interesting thing is the yards rushing there. You see the Redskins had 109, the Cowboys only 32, and we know that stat about Tony Dorsett. Every time he gains 100, in fact, every time he gains 100 yards or more in this stadium, the Cowboys win.
He's got a ways to go. They're 25-0 in this stadium when Dorsett gets over 100. First down, Cowboys, their own 28. Same offensive setup as Danny White has Springs and Dorsett behind him. Fakes to Dorsett. Screens to Springs. Springs trying to get to the outside. Had some blockers in front. Gets out to about the 36. Chased down from the opposite side by Todd Liebenstein. Richards comes in with the play.
Now we'll start seeing what they thought about or talked about at halftime, because usually when you get the ball, these are all the things that you just gathered in your halftime meetings.
So it's 2nd and 2. Springs got 8 on that screen pass from White. Danny 8 out of 13 for 100 yards. The 1 touchdown, that's to Cosby. It's back to Dorsett. Dorsett into a pile of Redskins led by Rich Milot. Nothing doing. Good play by Milot.
That was an excellent play by Milot. He got up there, took on the blocker Springs, but he got penetration into the backfield. You know, and that's the way you stop Dorsett. You have to get in the backfield. We'll see it here on the right-hand side of the screen. Now watch Ron Springs, 20. He's going to block. Now watch, there's Milot up there. And now Dorsett can't get to the outside. He just squeezes him to the inside where the guys coming down the line get him.
You got an assist from Dexter Manley. Dorsett is out, and the Cowboys operate from the spread. Rafferty's snap is good. White with time. Butch Johnson comes up with the first down reception and very nearly broke it for more yardage. Butch is hurt.
Yeah. Darrell Green, the defender, couldn't believe it. He was right there. He really had him covered. Watch him here and how that ball got in there. I know Darrell Green has no idea. Watch the inside guy here. He starts to the inside. There's Darrell Green right there. Throws that right arm, and that ball was in there by inches.
Butch grabbed his right ankle, as you can see right there, and Green can't believe it. Butch over, and they'll have a look at him. It's first down, Cowboys at their own 40. Opening seconds, opening drive, if it turns out to be one of quarter number 3. The handoff is to Dorsett, and he only got a yard. Dave Butts, who's had a whale of a game. Spectacular game.
I tell you, I don't know what they're thinking here when they think they can run Tony Dorsett to the inside against Dave Butts and Darrell Grant.
It can't be done. They only got a yard.
Just short of the 42-yard line. Second down, 8.
Springs goes out, and the Cowboys operate with Billy Joe Dupree and Doug Cosby, 2 tight ends. White on a draw play to Dorsett. He breaks 1 tackle to the 45, shy of the first down. Ken Coffey came up to make the stop.
You know what happens on this? The Redskins are in a stunt. Now watch the tackle. Watch the left ear. Dave Butts. He'll go out to the outside. See, now that opens the middle because the Cowboys pick off that stunt, and then Dorsett is able to get inside. See, sometimes those pass rush stunts, if you break a draw right between them, you can get a big play.
They had Milot in the middle, as they do now. Now he moves over to the right side. Cowboys go in the spread formation. Dorsett to Springs, knocked backwards. It'll be short of a first down by about a foot, it seems. Now we'll we'll see who makes the decision. And Coffey is hurt.
I tell you, that was Ken Coffey who made that hit on Ron Springs. It was a heck of a tackle because he stopped Springs from getting the first down. Watch this now. Doug Cosby's not in, so now the favorite third down receiver and that 3rd and 5 or 6 is Ron Springs. What a collision they had there. Springs went backwards.
And Coffey went down and still is. They'll take a timeout. Landry has made the decision that Joe Gibbs made earlier. 4th and inches, and he's going for it.
It's about the same spot in the field.
They need a foot.
They aren't going to snap it. They're trying to draw the Redskins off sides. If they don't go, they'll take the penalty and punt.
They'll keep going. They still have 7 seconds.
And they might want someone else to move.
Nobody's going to move. And they didn't make it. Landry is really upset. They went on that long count hoping the Redskins would jump. They didn't move, and they still ran the play.
I was sure that they weren't going to snap the ball when it was this late. You usually go on 1 or 3 or 5. This must have been 22. But geez, there was nothing there. No first down, nothing. Did you see what Tom Landry thought on that play? I don't think he thinks they're going to snap the ball. So he's going, no, no.
Rafferty is down, the man who did snap the ball. And still down. Rafferty's left sock trickled down, and now he gets to his feet. I'm not sure. I think I agree with you that Tom Landry can't believe that they snapped the ball after all that.
I don't think so, because we see him there. He's looking at the 30-second clock. He turned around, and the first thing he said when he saw the ball snap was no.
So the Redskins take over. Both coaches have maybe made the decision to go on 4th and short. Both have failed. Riggins by Downs and Harvey Martin. Somebody else on the bottom of that pile, too.
I'll tell you, they'll be
Randy White.
second-guessing those calls at those
Won't they?
4th down, but I agree with both of them. You know, doggone it. You know, the Redskins were up 14-0. They know the last time they played, they had them 23-3, and they didn't get them. You know, and you think, but hey, we get them up against the ropes, let's knock them out. Cowboys are thinking, we want some momentum, whatever. I think, doggone it, sometimes you have to do those things.
Here's Riggins again. Got about 3. Randy White around his feet. That'll make it 3rd and about 3. Joe Washington enters the contest, so that would indicate pass coming. Maybe it's about 4. Riggins comes out. Washington's in. Redskins, when they lead at halftime, are 24-1 in their last 25 games. And that one happened the first game of this year when Dallas came from behind to beat them 31-30. Smerrick in on the Dallas defense. Theismann back to throw, looking, and incomplete. Dennis Thurman back there with him. Charlie Brown, the intended receiver. And the defense does its job. Danny White over on the sideline talking with Duck Donnelly and Ron Springs, among others. Mike Hegman now. Jeff Hayes, who is also a very good athlete and who has run from punt formation. And he can run very quick. Fellows back deep for Dallas, counting their players. It's 14-10. Redskins over the Cowboys. Hayes hangs it high. Fellows lets it bounce over his head. It bounds off a Redskin player, and the Skins down it inside the Dallas 5.
You know, that's something. In the Redskins punt formation, they put the wide guy is Charles Mann. Now watch him. He's a big 6'5", 250-pound defensive end. He's the outside guy in the coverage team. First guy down there, he doesn't know what to do with it when he gets it. Hey, get right over it. Pretty good.
And Otis Wansley downed it after it bounced off Mann. That's a good kick.
You want to see what it's like to be an up back on punt coverage? Watch here. Here's Larry Cuban. Now watch. Here's Randy White. He stays in on the punt coverage. Now watch the wrapping around Cuban gets. He starts here and says, oh, I got to go down and come. Holy man, do I still have a head? 1, 2. Harvey. Randy White again. That guy draws a crowd, doesn't he?
Cuban finally said, hey, wait a minute. I've been down there 5 times.
That had to be brewing, though, or they saw something on the film that they said, hey, we got to get this Cuban guy.
Well, they got him. First down, Dallas, their own 6-yard line. 9:13 left, third quarter. 2 tight ends. Springs left side where there is nothing. Darrell Grant. Curtis Jordan up to make the hit. Some of the other scores. New England 14, the Rams 7, third quarter. Rams need that one badly. Tatupu just scored on a 5-yard run to get New England ahead. San Diego 24, Kansas City 14. Baltimore 16, Denver nothing. Big game for Denver. St. Louis has gone ahead of the Raiders. Mathematically, the Cardinals still have a chance for the playoffs. 2 tight ends set up again. Cosby on the left, Dupree on the right. Pitches out to Dorsett. Nowhere to go. Darrell Green came up to trip him up as Dorsett got back to the original line of scrimmage.
I'll tell you, that's the second play on a sweep that Darrell Green has made a good play. We see the outside linebacker here milk off, and he starts to the outside. Watch Green come up there. He comes up. He's the corner man, the force man, the outside guy. He comes up and makes the tackle.
So now it's 3rd and 10 from the Cowboys 6. 7:55 left to play in the third quarter. Danny White out of the spread, looking and checking where that goal line is. Butch Johnson in the game. He was hurt earlier. Newsom stands back next to White. Rafferty is back too. He was hurt earlier. White gets it out of the end zone. Almost picked off. Monty Coleman almost picked it off for the Redskins. It headed for Springs. And they'll have to punt, and from back here it will be White and not Miller.
You know what I'm surprised at, Pat, is the fact that the Cowboys don't have Doug Cosby in the lineup in their spread formation. They're using 3 wide receivers, Butch Johnson being the third, and the 2 backs.
White standing way back deep in his own end zone, checking that wide area so to make sure he doesn't step on that, and back deep for the Redskins. I don't know what's wrong with Nelms, but it's Virgil C. White. Okay, kick. C at his own 48. C with room. Virgil C. Danny White, the only man in his way. Inside the 10 to about the 7 before Newsom. And Rod Hill stopped it. 42-yard punt, 41-yard return.
You get all the talk about offense and defense, and it could be special teams. Watch it from here. C just catches the ball. Now the best way to take a punt return is straight up the middle. He starts to the left, boom, breaks 2 tackles right there. Listen, both now the only guy to hold him up there is Danny White. Rod Hill is coming from behind, and Timmy Newsom, and they catch him right there about the 7-yard line.
First and goal from that point for Washington. John Riggins, the lone setback, and Theismann goes right to him. He's tripped up after a yard. Bob Brunig filled the hole and cut him down. Washington and Giaquinto come on now for the Washington Redskins. Alvin Garrett comes out along with Riggins.
Well,
Cowboys, excuse me. Go ahead, Don.
That means it's a passing down then, because Giaquinto is their designated receiver in these types of situations, as is Joe Washington.
Giaquinto, one of those who just wanders around and seems to wind up in the open. Now he goes in motion. Theismann comes in the rollout. Throws in behind the intended receiver was Art Monk. Theismann threw it behind him. Michael Downs was close. But with a good throw from Theismann, that would have been 6.
Joe Theismann really hasn't had the same sharpness here since he had that problem with those penalties down there in that last drive.
It's 3rd down and goal from the 6. Dallas defense spending a lot of time on the field. Washington and Giaquinto now in motion. Washington behind Theismann. This time he comes straight back. Picked off. Michael Downs picks off Theismann's pass. Downs outside the 20 to the 22. Intended for Washington.
Washington was right at the goal line in the end zone, but he was double covered. He was inside, outside. Theismann tried to stick it right between the two guys, and he can't do it. Let's just see Theismann here. There's Washington right there. See, Bates was outside. Michael Downs was inside when he got the interception.
So Dallas repels the Redskins, and they'll take over with a first down at their own 22. Redskins still leading by 4.
Watch this. Watch the interception here. Here's Joe Washington. He's going to run a hook here. He's double covered. Bill Bates will have him outside. Michael Downs inside. And Downs right here comes up with the interception. But Washington comes out of the backfield. You see Bates go to the outside, Downs to the inside. They have him inside out. The ball's thrown inside. So Downs comes up with the interception.
And we come back live after that interception with Dallas 1st and 10 from their own 22. Theismann started 6 out of 6. He's 0 for 5 since then. 8 no-shows today. How about that? White, some confusion, I'm not sure what. Tony Hill stays on his feet. Tony Hill gets out of bounds, is cut down out of bounds. The turnover ratio of these two teams, Washington has been phenomenal in that category. After that one just happened, they got him back from +40 to +39, and Dallas now with +17. They're the league leaders. Minnesota losing today, +18. Washington now +39. Dallas +17. And Miami next in line, and then followed by Kansas City. Over on the Dallas bench, the defense in meeting. 2nd down 4. White back to throw. Has time and goes for Tony Hill. Incomplete and no penalties. Curtis Jordan. Darrell Green was the defender back there with him. Jordan over on the side to help, but it was Green who was back there.
I'll tell you, and he's right there with him. He's looking into him. Now, when Hill looks up, Green looks up, and he knows the ball's in the air. I better not touch him. I'll put both hands up, and there's no contact there. I'll tell you, he's pretty good.
From the other side.
He was a #1 draft choice of the Redskins last year. In fact, he was the last player taken in the 1st round. A good choice because he can run.
Yeah.
Good movement. You know, he tackles on the sweeps, covers deep.
Not that big, but they really have high hopes and are proud of what he's done so far. 3rd down and 4. White back to throw. Does throw. Crosby has it go through his hand. Knocked loose, and Washington picks it off. It's Darrell Green. Now they're blowing it down. Now saying no. White chasing Green. Knocking him out of bounds, and Danny White showing you some athletic ability, and they're going to bring it back to the spot of the interception. It will be the Redskins' ball.
I don't know. Darrell Green must have been down somewhere. I'll tell you, that ball bounced off 3 guys. 1 Cowboy, a 2nd Cowboy, and finally into Darrell Green.
It was off Crosby, then off Butch Johnson.
We have an interception by Washington. The intercepting player was hit in the air, so he was down by defensive contact. First down.
Let's see if we can see it there. It's off Cosby. Now Pearson's going to go for it. He's hit by Vernon Dean. It's off him. And then they said, you see right there, his knee was hit by Pearson as he was flying over the pile.
You're right, it was Drew Pearson who took that shot in the back. Off Cosby, off Pearson, Green with the interception.
Your Chevy dealer's big
interception again. Here's Cosby. He's the inside guy right here. He works back. The ball is thrown high through his hands. Drew Pearson goes to catch it. He's hit by Vernon Dean, and here comes Darrell Green over the top. Now what they said is right here is when Green, watch it right here, when Green catches the ball and has the interception, he makes contact with Pearson. Now right there we see he didn't make contact with Pearson, therefore he should be able to get up and run.
Redskins first down 10. They're at the Dallas 43. Theismann rolls out. Now he has time, and now he goes deep. Art Monk. Monk, touchdown. Art Monk got it done for Theismann. Theismann got the ball there.
I'll tell you, Art Monk made a heck of a move out here on Ron Fellows. Look at Downs and Thurman are in the middle of the fun bunch. You're not going to let him jump. There's a penalty thrown. The official threw a penalty on that.
I don't understand that.
Well, of course, the Redskins, after a touchdown, the fun bunch gets to the end zone and celebrate. Two of the Cowboys defenders were in that group.
Personal foul, number 26, defense. Personal foul, number 87, offense. Unnecessary roughness after the touchdowns. Penalties offset. We'll try the extra point.
Of course, that was Michael Downs and Charlie Brown.
Yeah. Oh, we asked Charlie Brown what he'd do if that happened last night.
Yep. And Everson Walls told us that it might happen. We still didn't see the move yet that Art Monk made, though.
We will in time as Mark Mosley hits the extra point with Theismann holding, and now there's another exchange going on. Here it is.
Let's watch it here now. Now Monk starts in, you see, and he does like a stop. See, it's like a hook. He stops. Fellows takes a bite. He looks up. Monk goes boom right by him, and it's a perfect throw for the touchdown. I'll tell you, he really sold that stop to Ron Fellows, so didn't he?
Boy, he did. Now let's watch the festivities.
Well, they're all in there. There goes Michael Downs. He pushes Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown just pushed. Oh, there it is right now. I don't know.
Washington over Dallas now. 5:22 left in the third quarter. Jeff Hayes set to kick off. Fellows. Coming out of the end zone 3 yards deep. Trying to go left again. Gets out to about the 17. The Redskins special teams have always been good, and man leads them this time. Back to the touchdown.
Watch it again, and we'll see the same move. But the big thing here is what Art Monk does here. See, most receivers want to do it too quickly. See, he stops, he looks, he puts his head. Fellows goes 1-2, really took the bite on it, and of course Monk is by him. And we get the rule down here, a pylon equals the end zone. Oh, touchdown.
Touchdown, yes. Dallas ball, 1st and 10, trailing now 21-10, 5:12 left to play, third quarter. Flag is down. They get Springs out of the backfield. He only gets about 3 yards. Darrell Green came up to make the hit. Now he helps run Springs to his feet.
21-yard line. There is a flag down near the 12.
Penalty against Dallas. Redskins 21, Cowboys 10. Tom Landry and Dick Nolan a little bit frustrated at the moment and very unhappy, obviously.
I think Tom's still frustrated from that short yardage play. I don't know exactly what it was, but it sure did get to him.
They got him back in the hole and never really got out.
Number 88, offense, still first down.
Penalty against the Cowboys and Drew Pearson, and here comes Kurt Peterson in with the message, the play that Tom Landry once called. Richards goes out. Redskins string it out. Well done. Curtis Jordan. Mel Kaufman. Both involved.
Well, you know what started all that is Dave Butts. He got penetration and he knocked off the pulling guard. So when Dorsett gets to the outside, he doesn't have his guard. Watch here on the left side. Now watch Butts, 65. He gets through there. You see him knock the guard off there? He knocked the guard down. Now Dorsett has one less blocker out in front. Good defense. See, there's a red jersey outside, inside, and right in front of.
Butts knocked down Herbert Scott, so it's 2nd and 15. Dorsett got none. White. Cosby lost it. Curtis Jordan, the defender again. Cosby, as a rule, would not drop that ball.
Number 22, Curtis Jordan, defending on the play. 3rd down.
Now both teams come in with their passing situation, offenses and defenses. The Redskins, unlike some of the teams, and now with Murphy, it might be Murphy out, it might be even more different. Use only 5 defensive backs. Some teams go as much as 7.
With Tony McGee there with the black shoes on, huh? I like that, those black high-top shoes. They need some mud and dirt and stuff.
Here comes a Redskin blitz. White is hit from the blind side by Darrell Green just as he let it go. The Redskins are usually not a blitzing team, but they came that time and nobody picked up Darrell Green.
I'll tell you, Darrell Green's been all over the field. He's been up on force and support. He's been back covering. Watch from the right-hand side of your screen right here. Danny White's turning. He's looking to his left or his right. Here comes Green from the back side. And boom, he gives it to him just as he gets rid of the ball. Danny White saying, dude, I didn't see that guy. Where'd he come from? The cornerback.
White's last punt, of course, was returned by Virgil C. This one's not a very good punt either. C takes it on the bounce at his own 42. Skips out of one tackle. Skips away from another. Is cut down and flags go down. Bill Bates. Rod Fellows. Ron Fellows. 45-yard punt, 9-yard return, 36-yard net. And the flag is down, and so is Virgil C. limping at the moment. Looks pretty good back there, returning kicks. They're going to bring it all back.
The preliminary signal. And it'll go man downfield against the Cowboys, holding against the Redskins.
Eligible downfield on the punt. Number 44 kicking team. Illegal block in the back. Number 50 receiving team. Penalties offset. 4th down.
So White will have to do it again, and the Cowboys will have to cover it again. Virgil C. almost got a lot more out of that one than he eventually did. Larry Cuban.
He probably said, I better get me one of those Cowboys. They've been getting me.
So White, standing in the end zone, will have to do it again. Virgil C. back at his own 43-yard line. 4:01 left to play. Redskins leading 21-10. Better kick. Better kick. Flag is down again. C. almost stepped out of bounds, and now he does at the Redskin 44. But again, there's a penalty marker down. 49-yard punt by White, and a good high one.
I think Virgil C. had really hurt himself on the punt return before, Pat, because he was going for that ball. He was limping towards it.
Holding against the Redskins. Here's Virgil C., number 80. He hurt himself on the previous punt, then he had to go back out again. And they mark it off against the Redskins. That'll put it back at the Redskin 29.
Holding number 51 receiving team while the ball was in the air.
While the ball was in the air, it was Monty Coleman, the culprit. Heisman over with Gibbs next Saturday. We will be in Washington at RFK for the Giants and the Redskins. If the Redskins wins today, the Redskins win today, I should say. They still have to win next week to make sure that they don't have to depend on what happens to Dallas and San Francisco a week from tomorrow night. Theismann going to work quick. Has Monk out there quickly. Monk outside the 35, 37, about 8. Harvey Martin. Randy White. For an NFL update, let's go to New York and Brent Musburger.
Pat, we've got a potential upset brewing in Los Angeles. The St. Louis Cardinals have come on to score 27 unanswered points. On this touchdown pass, Lomax to Tilley, they now lead the Raiders by 10 points, 34-24. Back to Pat and John.
Cardinals trying to keep their playoffs hopes slimly alive. The Raiders, of course, are already in. 2nd down and 2 from the Washington 37. Theismann goes to work again. Overthrows. Alvin Garrett. Everson Walls with him. That'll make it 3rd down.
Have you noticed that most of Theismann's overthrows, he's had 2 or 3 of them, are always to his right side? I think the reason is Ed Too Tall Jones on that side. You know, that he knocks down or bats down more passes than any other end in the league. As they throw over him, and then it becomes a high pass on that right sideline.
3rd and 2. Theismann back to throw again. And does. Caught by Art Monk. Monk stays on his feet and gets into Dallas territory to their 40. Bill Bates finally knocked him out of bounds. Art Monk, who missed much of last year with injuries, has come on strong. He's a big wide receiver.
I'll tell you, he's made a heck of a move here after he catches a ball. See, now, most receivers, or a lot of receivers, would catch that ball and be hit and knocked out of bounds. But instead of going to the outside, he does a little reverse spins and then gets up the field and starts it all over again and picks up another 10 or 15 yards.
Redskin 1st down at the Dallas 40. 2:23 left to play 3rd quarter. Washington on the move with Riggins. Hit from behind by Mike Hegman. But he's still got about 4 yards.
You know what the Redskins do? You see they get that 21-10 lead. You know, now they can come back with that fullback game, that power game, that offensive line. You know, get in there, get in the pits, run behind those hogs.
And chew up that clock. Theismann has Charlie Brown and Monk split wide to the left and Garrett out to the right. They give to Riggins. Riggins leans inside for about 3. John Dutton on the bottom of the pile. Dallas Cowboy fans obviously a little bit quieter than they were earlier this afternoon and concerned about the score, which is 21-10, Redskins leading. Could be that if things work out, these two would play again this year, the NFC Championship game.
You know, it was so important to the Cowboys because they've been in the last 3 championship games all on the road, and they've lost them all.
And if Washington wins today, under certain circumstances, they might be here, but might not either. Riggins will not get the 1st down. Harvey Martin, Randy White, the middle of the Dallas line. Shove him back and shut him down.
This is the thing that Tom Landry said we have to do. He said our biggest concern is short yardage. He said John Riggins is the best short yardage runner there is. And he said we have to try and keep him out of those situations. But if we do, he said we have to tighten that thing up, converge. See how he brings his ends down here? Here comes Harvey Martin to the inside. John Dutton taking on the trap, getting a lot of guys on John Riggins.
Mark Mosley with Theismann holding from 50 yards. Mosley. That won't do it. No good. And they bring it back to the line of scrimmage, which would be the 32-yard line. 26 seconds left now in the 3rd quarter. And the hopes and the fires still burn in the hearts of the Cowboy fan. Let's check the other scores while we have a chance. New Orleans 20, Philadelphia 17. It's over. Final in overtime. The 17-12. That's the final now. Gary Hogaboom warming up on the sideline for the Cowboys. Danny White, however, right now is still the quarterback. Redskins fake a blitz, now come off of it. White going deep. Tony Hill Just shy of midfield for a Dallas first down. Anthony Washington, the defender. You get pass protection, you get completions.
And you see Tony Hill out here. He's just going to run up like he's going deep, and he's going to stop or run a hook pattern. Just turn right back towards the quarterback and catch the ball in front of him. Again, he did a good job of selling that he's going deep. Drove the cornerback off, and he just hooked back to Danny White.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score, Washington 21, Dallas 10. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Wednesday, meet an advertising man who's fed up with his job, his family, and his life.
1 more quarter to go. Pat Summerall to John Madden. Cowboys have the ball at midfield. And Washington leads 21-10. Redskins have dominated. Danny White. Cosby has a first down. Hangs on this time. Curtis Jordan with him, but Cosby found the handle and gets the first down from White.
That's what I think the Cowboys have to do from now on, is leave Doug Cosby in the game. You know, play him in there as a tight end. If they go to the spread formation, keep him in there. That other formation, the 3 wide receivers and the 2 backs, isn't really as effective against the Redskins.
Charles Mann has replaced Dexter Manley in the Redskin defense. He's the defensive right end. Cowboy first down, Redskin 39. Cosby goes in motion. Pitch out to Dorsett. To Springs, beg your pardon. And here comes the penalty marker quickly. Has to be against Dallas from where it came.
And it's either a clip on Drew Pearson or a leg whip on Doug Cosby. I think they had 2 of them right there at the point of attack. Tom Landry has to find a play that works from 10 yards back. Or if it's a clip, 15 yards back.
He's got that list with all the different colors. It's against the Redskins, one of them. They're clipping against the Cowboys. So, he'll redo it.
Then it must have been the clip against Drew Pearson, and then the face mask against the Redskins. Watch Drew Pearson out here, the outside guy. He starts out here in the block. Now he gets in, you see, and as Green started to go to the inside, he clipped him.
We have a 5 and 15 situation. 5-yard face mask foul on number 55 on the defense. Personal foul, clipping on number 88 on the offense. By rule, only the 15-yard penalty is penalized. It's still first down.
See him put his finger up to make that point. By rule, only the 15-yard penalty is marked off. Now, the reason that is if one, say that the defensive team just jumps off sides, that's 5 yards. That doesn't give the offensive team the right to commit a flagrant foul. They say if there's a 5 and a 15, you just do the 15.
So it's first down. The down didn't count. And one of the penalties didn't count. It's first down. White back to throw. Going to be under pressure. Got a screen to Dorsett. Got some room. Dorsett tripped up on a good tackle by Craig Williams. Dorsett in a dispute with Mann. Darrell Grant also involved. Fired the ball at Grant. Now flags fly all over the place again.
This is going to be an interesting one. Tony Dorsett threw the ball at Darrell Grant, but you don't know what Grant did. Don't give us both, guys. Okay, just one.
It's going to be against Dallas.
I'll tell you who makes a heck of a block is Herb Scott. Watch him, 68 here. He's going to pull out in front, and watch him right there. He cuts down Malott, and that's the one that gets Dorsett here to the outside. And here, it looks like Darrell Grant jumped on Dorsett. He has his leg up there. Oh, he pushed at him first.
Sure did.
Yeah, Grant threw that right at him. Dorsett, in retaliation, threw the ball. They missed the Darryl Grant part. Look, he jumps there. The knee comes up there. Dorsett says something, pushes the knee away. Grant throws the right. Dorsett throws the ball. The official throws the flag.
Well, after all that, now it is second down and 27. 13:54 left to play. The Redskins leading by 11 points, and White back to throw. Has some time. Picked off. Greg Williams makes the interception. Still on his feet. Finally knocked out of bounds by Donovan, but the Redskins take over in Dallas territory. 25-yard return with the interception of Danny White's throw. Drew Pearson, the intended receiver.
I tell you, they say that these Redskins are on the bottom in pass defense, but they sure come up with the turnovers. They sure come up with the big plays. Mark Murphy out. We'll see Williams back here. Good stunt, good pass protection. He has time. It's not the problem. You see, Williams reads it, steps right in front of Drew Pearson, picks it off.
And makes a good run after the interception. Redskins now appear to be in good shape, leading 21-10. Dallas 10, 13:41 remaining. Redskins have it after the interception at the Cowboy 38-yard line. 13:40 left to play. Heisman going for more and going quickly. And now he squirms out of a trap and is taken down by John Dutton. Pressure was put on early by Randy White and Harvey Martin. You can see the rush.
Now Theismann, he makes a little fake to Riggins. Riggins picks up Brunick. As the time he pumps in there, there's Brunick back on him. He says, I can't throw there. I better find some place to go down. Let me get out of here. I'll tell you, that's the thing that Joe Theismann doesn't do. He doesn't make the dumb mistake. He pumped. He saw there wasn't there. He didn't try and force it. He took the sack. That's a smart play.
Theismann back to throw. They pick up the blitz, and Theismann goes deep. He's got a man. Flag is down. 2 flags are down. Rod Hill was back there with Charlie Brown, and they're going to call it against Rod Hill.
They sure are. Rod Hill and Charlie Brown were running down on that up. Rod Hill bumped Charlie Brown.
Defense, number 25, defense, first down.
Watch him right here. You see Rod Hill isn't looking at the ball. He's not looking for the ball. He's just watching Charlie Brown right here. The ball's in the air. He gives him the bump there just as he turns around. And then he got, I don't know, the legs got caught up or something in there too. But I think he bumped him with his left shoulder.
37 yards on that penalty against Rod Hill, and it'll be first and goal for the Redskins at the Dallas 4-yard line. Those are the penalty yards for the day. Dallas 6 times for 109 yards. 2 big pass interference penalties. Redskins 5 times. It's Riggins, and Wansley goes in motion now. Theismann gives to Riggins, and Riggins barrels down to about the 2. John Dutton on the bottom of the pile. Bill Bates helped out.
That's tough to do for a normal fullback. John Riggins started to the left and then cut back to the right. And on short yardage goal line, you don't have any blockers back there. He just took on the whole left side of the Cowboy defense by himself.
And goal. Wansley again in motion. Again it's Riggins. And again he stopped. Got about a yard. Bob Brunick on the bottom of the pile.
Watch the linebackers in there. Everyone's keying. They only have one guy to watch, and that's John Riggins. I tell you, when he gets the ball down here in the goal line, he draws a crowd. Everyone's keying John Riggins.
Let's see if Theismann has a rollout in mind. Riggins still the lone setback as Wansley goes in motion. Theismann looking. Got some room over to his left. Theismann waffled at the goal line. No hands up by the officials as yet. Theismann is out of there unhurt.
Joe Theismann never seems to get hurt. I'll tell you, you talk about a guy, this guy's an athlete, this guy's tough, this guy, but this Theismann is something. Watch here, he's faking, he's rolling. Too Tall Jones gets up, stops him on that side. He sees he has an open here. He has a sprint to the end zone. He's not going to throw now. He's sprinting, sees he has to get in. He just dives in, and of course the ball didn't break the plane to the goal line. And it's 4th down, and the Redskins are going for the touchdown.
That was Bruce Huther who hit Theismann in the air. And it's 4th down. The give is to Riggins. Touchdown.
Bruce Huther was down there pounding the ground. He's the guy that was keying John Riggins. Have the 2 middle linebackers in there. They both key Riggins. They both try and hit the hole at the same time. Watch it right here. Riggins, second back, starts in there. Watch Huther going. Bill Bates hits him, but Riggins pushes the pile this way.
Did I see the ball come flying out of there?
It was after it was a touchdown, though.
After he scored, right. Mosley with the extra point makes it Redskins 28, Cowboys 10. From the other angle.
Watch the old motion, the fake back motion. We'll see the fullback lead. Riggins, the second back. He takes off, dives. Now, once that ball breaks the plane of the goal line, it's a touchdown. But after it broke the plane, it did come right down the goal line.
Touchdown for the Redskins, and they have a very comfortable lead at the moment, 28-10. Washington 28, Dallas 10. Time remaining 11-19. Redskins in command as Jeff Hayes kicks off. High kick will be handled by Fellows. That is 10. He gets confused and stops. He gets out to about the 20. Vernon Dean down there to lead the special teams for the Redskins. Here's the touchdown by Riggins.
Of course, the rule is once the ball, the football, breaks the plane of the goal line, it's a touchdown. Now watch Riggins dive in here. You can see the ball right here, and it's going to break the plane right there. See, it broke the plane now. Now, anything that happens after that, it doesn't mean a thing.
So the fact that the ball did come flying out of there doesn't mean a thing, as John Madden says. It's still a touchdown. First down for the Cowboys, their own 20. And a lot of work cut out for him. It's Ron Springs, staying on his feet. Gets outside the 25-27. Mel Kaufman tripped him up.
Danny White's pass complete to Ron Springs.
There's John Riggins. I tell you, he looks like a fullback, doesn't he? Huh? Look at those legs, man. You don't shave, you're ready to play. Let's watch Dave Butts here and on a stunt. Now, he starts to the inside. Then he goes to the outside. The outside man comes inside. Really on a stunt, the end and the tackle exchange. The end in, tackle out.
It's Kurt Peterson blocking on Butts. Here comes the blitz, and White gets it out on the screen to Dorsett, and Dorsett is taken down by Rich Malott, who played it perfectly.
I'll tell you who, I like those big linemen, of course, but do you see 65? He's out there, too. He was kind of between Danny White and Dorsett. When you get that big body in there, it's tough to throw. Now watch, he'll read this. He starts in here, he's going against Howard Richard. He says pass, pass. Nope, screen, screen. Here goes Dorsett. Now watch Butts get in there. Now he gets between Dorsett and Danny White. Malott comes up and makes a play.
Rich Malott, the Redskin coaches say, is playing as well as any linebacker in the league. So it's 3rd down and long. 3rd and 6 for Dallas. They go from the spread. Tony Hill gets enough for the first down. Anthony Washington was with him, but Hill worked his way open. And White got it to him. First down, Cowboys. There's Joe Theismann. There's a great deal of confidence in his ability.
I'll tell you, and he has a great deal of confidence in Joe Gibbs' ability. Joe Gibbs has a great deal of confidence in Joe Theismann's ability.
And it's turned out to be a very good match.
There's Joe Gibbs talking to him. You know, you talk about the great coaches. I think this guy right here in the last couple of years has done as good or better job than any of them.
Well, the record speaks for itself. Drew Pearson. The ball sails over his head. Here's the intended receiver, and White
Danny White's pass intended for
let it slip or threw it over his head on purpose.
second down.
Time remaining with the Redskins leading 28-10 is 8:58. Still enough time.
Cowboys will do from now on.
Theismann has never won as a quarterback for the Redskins here at Texas Stadium. The Redskins themselves haven't won here since 1976. White gets it outside. And the pass they rule is complete by Drew Pearson. White was under fire and under pressure. Tony McGee and Dexter Manley were all in his face. Anthony Washington, the defender.
But watch Drew Pearson, how he works back for the ball. Anthony Washington's a corner here. He pushes up. Now he's going to run it out. See, he goes to the sideline. Now, you don't have him beaten there, but you have one more chance. Work back, work back. He does, and that's where he beats him and gets the ball by working back towards the line of scrimmage. I'll tell you, see, Danny White had a tough time stepping up. He had two guys right on him as he threw that ball.
McGee and Manley, it's third down and about 2. Clock is stopped as Pearson did get out of bounds. The Redskins faking blitz, jump, and then get back. White retreats. Here comes the rush. Osby will have the first down. Mel Kaufman with the big tight end, but White running for his life. Pressure by Butts.
Every time Danny White is throwing the ball now, he has a Redskin lineman hanging on him. There's Manley up the middle. There's Butts right there. Just as White throws the ball, he's hit by Butts. When a guy weighs over 300 pounds, he just taps you. You do somersaults and stuff.
You keep going backwards, don't you? Dave Butts has played as good a game by a defensive lineman today as I've seen in a long time.
He's been all over. He's been there to run at him, run away from him, pass rush.
Running down screens. White looking to go deep. He has Tony Hill. The defender fell down. Anthony Washington tripped. White had already thrown the ball before the slip down.
I'll tell you, watch this. Anthony Washington has a tough job he's had here on Tony Hill, man-to-man. He starts to go inside, then he comes back out, and he trips right here. Tony Hill is wide open all by himself, and the ball's thrown over his head. That's frustration. Woo. You know, Tony Hill may have kicked Anthony Washington.
Might have been what caused him to trip like that. Anyway, they didn't get the ball there. It's 2nd and 10. Ball's at the Dallas 46. Bradford in the center. 7:58 left to play as White retreats, and here comes that Redskins stunt again. Pass intercepted by Craig Williams. Tony Hill never looked around, and that's his second of the day, the third Redskin interception.
I'll tell you, they're doing a job on defense today. You know, it all starts, though, with the pass rush. They've always had someone pushing, someone being on Danny White. You watch him here. Again, it's that same stunt. They cross on both sides. You see, he really couldn't step up with his left foot. It's a double zone. The safety's over, makes the interception.
So the Redskins take over at their own 37. 1st and 10. Here are the Dallas Cowboy turnovers. Interception. Redskins got a touchdown. Another interception, and the Redskins got a touchdown. They just got their third interception, and we'll see. Theismann has Riggins behind him. And look for him to go to work. Anthony Dickerson comes out to help with the tackle. It was Dennis Thurman who was out there with him. And some of the Cowboy fans have started to depart.
You know, it was an interesting thing. Joe Theismann was saying last night, he said, you know, even if we get ahead, he said, we want to keep after him. He said, we don't want to get conservative. We just want to keep after him, keep going, keep playing the way that we got there.
You know, I asked him what would be his feeling and the team's feeling if they did lose. He said, I never thought about it.
Nope.
Riggins the deep back. First down, Riggins gets the carry. Riggins rolls into the secondary and rolls to the Dallas 35. Dexter Clinkscale. on the bottom of the pile, but Riggins picked up 16 yards.
Riggins may even have a smile on that play. When you find a soft spot in the Cowboy defense, that's like, whoa, what happened over here? Good block by Stark on Too Tall Jones. I don't know what happened to the outside linebacker on that play. A block downfield. They really gave him on defense. That's what you call a soft corner. Look at the job that George Stark does on Too Tall Jones. Fires into him and then turns his body.
The tight end had a block on Hegman, and here goes Riggins over the left side now. Bob Brunig trips him up. Redskins rolling. Cowboys benches dejected. Well, you'd expect.
Well, I'll tell you one reason. You know, they started in training camp, and Tom Landry had some different policies and getting tougher and curfews and no spiking and so on. His big thing was they wanted to get in the playoffs, but play the playoffs and the championship game at home.
Here comes Riggins. Stays on his feet momentarily. Mike Hegman and Bob Brunig knocked him down.
You know what I like about this Redskin team is they have a lot of groups. You know, they got the Smurfs. Those are outside receivers. They got the fun bunch, the guys that do the dance and the thing. They got the Hogs, the offensive linemen. The Pearl Harbor crew, that's the defensive backs.
That's because they've been throwing so many bombs at him. And then Joe Theismann says, hey, I feel like I've got a toy.
Said he also feels like he's a ringleader of a circus.
Theismann down the middle. Charlie Brown, the receiver. Charlie Brown has a Redskin first down. Stopped by Rod Hill. Dave Butts has had such a spectacular day. That big guy, 300 pounds, 6'7", 6'8". He's been in those trenches a long time. He's had one whale of a day. Riggins carried 25 times, 83 yards gained. Dallas, all the backs, 20 carries, 33 yards. So Riggins has outgained Dallas by 50 yards up till now. Randy White on the bottom of the pile. Riggins got a couple. That'll make it second down, about 8.
You know, we talk about all those things and the running and the difference and all that, but a lot of it has to do with the linemen. And I really think that the Redskin linemen, these guys here, have done a heck of a job today against the Cowboys defense. On the other side, I think the Redskin defensive line have done a heck of a job on the Cowboys offensive line.
I think they won the battle.
They won the battle, and that's where it is.
Saw the statistic on Tony Dorsett, and you see what happens when he doesn't do. Riggins fighting for yardage gets down to about the 13-yard line. Randy White around the bottom of his legs. Riggins just leans and leans and picks up yards when it looks like he stopped at the line of scrimmage.
You know, John Riggins doesn't watch the game films. You know, when the teams come back on Monday, they all watch the films together. And mostly it's broken down into the running backs and receivers watching together and the linemen watch it by themselves. They do that with the Redskins, but Riggins watches the film with the offensive linemen. He goes in there with the Hogs, you know, and they probably have some ribs and chicken and sandwiches, burgers.
Here's Theismann. He is bombed by Dickerson. That's the 4th sack by the Cowboys. And Theismann was really hit.
Watch Theismann back here. Now he's going to find here comes Dickerson straight up the middle. Now again, that's a smart move by Theismann. You see the rush coming. Now you can try and get the thing tipped or intercepted. He saw it, says, I don't have a chance. We have a field goal. I'll take the sack. We got a good lead, and we'll kick the field goal right here.
And that field goal by Mosley with Theismann holding will come from 38 yards out. Mosley. This time is good. Right down the pipe. And it's the Redskins 31, the Cowboys 10.
Did you see who just came in the booth with the biggest smile I've ever seen? The general manager of the Washington Redskins, Bobby Beathard, just patted us on the back.
You know, this
champion North Carolina State Wolfpack, Jim Valvano. Here it's Washington 31, Dallas 10. Jeff Hayes to kick off. Fellows and Newsom deep. Hayes hangs it high and deep, and Fellows from the 2. Coming left. Fellows to the 28. Bounces from there. Stopped by Larry Cuban. Scores of other games still in progress. That one's in the 4th quarter. New England 21, Rams 7. San Diego 38, Kansas City 31. They're still playing. Baltimore 19, Denver 7. John Elway has just thrown a touchdown pass. And St. Louis 34, the Raiders 24. The Cardinals by 10. 1st and 10 here. And here it's Washington 31, Dallas 10. 2:27 left to play. Annie White throws. Tony Hill. Fumble. Redskins football. Monty Coleman. Rich Millot made the stop, and Coleman comes up with the ball, and the Redskins get the ball. Another turnover by the Cowboys.
And that's why the Redskins have that 40-plus ratio. They just get things like this. I mean, here the ball is right there. He just puts his right hand in, knocks the ball out, tips it around. Someone comes in and jumps on it. I'll tell you, this is a very opportunistic team.
Well, all those tremendous number of turnovers, they're back to 40 now, would indicate that. Washington 31-10 over Dallas, and with a chance for more. Look at this turnover ratio we were just talking about a minute ago. Washington so far in front of everybody else. Plus 43, Minnesota plus 18, and on down the line. They had dropped back to 39 earlier today, but here's what they've done with their turnovers. Nick Giaquinto is the lone running back. They give the ball to him. Giaquinto down to about the 31. Bill Bates on the bottom of the pile, along with Bruce Huther and John Dutton. Washington 31, Dallas 10.
The other thing you aren't going to see Joe Gibbs do here is put in his backup quarterback, Bob Holly. He says he doesn't think that does any good. He said it doesn't do the team any good. It doesn't do Holly any good. So you just leave the starter in there and get the game over with when you got the victory.
And they'll get the 2-minute warning as you look at Bob Holly. Redskins up safely.
Giving that ex-leader Joe Theismann is always ready for any key play his team may need for victories. Theismann's total dedication to team success propelled Washington to its first NFL title last season. It was earned in Super Bowl 17 when Theismann made one of the game's most important plays.
Theismann strips Bochamper to save a sure Miami touchdown.
By making any sacrifice to win, Joe Theismann is the best he can be.
For the Raiders 24. That is a final now. Of course, the Raiders are already in the playoffs. They've already clinched their divisional championship. Here it's 31-10, and the Redskin fans have cause and reason to celebrate. Some supporters of the Hogs you were just looking at. 2nd down and 6 as Giaquinto is again the running back. And again, he carries off the right side. John Dutton and Bill Bates on the stop again.
You love to see the Hogs have some supporters. They ought to. You know, Russ Grimm on that thing. See him, 68 there? He just blew Randy White right off the line of scrimmage on that last play. These guys only know one way to play. Get down there, you get down and just watch it here. He's the left guard here. Watch it on Randy White. Boom, just head in there, drive those legs, just knock them right off the line of scrimmage. 4th quarter, ahead by 21 points. They don't care. They only know
doesn't matter.
Yeah, get down in there and grunt and play. That's why they win. These guys right here in the picture there.
On 3rd down, it's Giaquinto in the hands of Harvey Martin. That'll stop him. And it'll be 4th down, and Mark Mosley strolls around on the sideline. 107, and now the clock running at 105 or 104 left to play. Redskins will just let it run. Theismann stays in the game. Dexter Manley.
He got rid of that mohawk. He said, I don't need that anymore. He said, that gets tough on the brain.
Redskins very, very happy. Fourth down, they're going to take a long time. They'll take a delay if they have to. The Cowboys not calling a timeout. They know that that is sort of useless.
Well, it looks like they're keeping their offense in there.
60 minutes will be coming up right away after this football game is over. The all-star party for Frank Sinatra, the Jeffersons, Goodnight Beantown, and Trapper John M.D. all at the regular Sunday night lineup here on CBS.
I don't know. He's wearing
Stewart,
like a T-shirt.
James Stewart, Burt Reynolds, Carol Burnett, Gary Grant, Richard Burton, Tommy Lasorda, all in that cast of that party for Frank Sinatra. Giaquinto, the ball carrier again. That'll give Dallas a first down. They'll stop the clock on the change of possession as Joe Gibbs will have a very pleasant and happy and what'll seem like a short flight back to our nation's capital tonight. It's the Redskins. Take another step closer. Executive producer of the NFL on CBS is Terry O'Neill. Senior producer Charles Milton III. Sandy Grossman directed this game. It's produced by Terry O'Neill. Joan Vetrano, the associate producer. Stu Meyer, Scott Johnson, Lance Barrow, the broadcast associates. Here goes Danny White in action. Had it, dropped it. Redskins on the rush. It's been a disastrous day, and there once again is number 65 on the bottom of the pile, and that's Dave Butts.
Butts almost caught that ball. You see it come flying out there? It looked like it was right in his stomach. Watch it again. See if we can see Butts here. He's coming right over here from the right of our screen. See, again, he's stunning to the outside. I watched Danny White tries to get rid of it, bouncing. I think it hit Butts in the face mask. He said, I don't want that doggone ball. I want that doggone quarterback.
Tony McGee in a stunt with Butts put the pressure on White, and he's been throwing off balance all day long because of that great rush by the Redskin front four. White out of bounds, and that's the end of this football game. And a very impressive performance by the Washington Redskins as they defeat Dallas 31-10. Joe Gibbs happily goes off. Tom Landry in a little bit of a slouch. Gibbs waving to him at this point. Can't find him. Next Saturday, we'll have a chance on CBS here to watch those Redskins again against the Giants at RFK Stadium. Coming up next, the wrap-up show on all the highlights of all the action around the NFL today with Brent Musburger, the scores and the highlights. Final score here, Redskins overwhelm the Cowboys by the score of 31-10.